On today's episode of LiveLeanTV, I'm sharing a personal story of why I failed at my fitness goals and how I'm going to overcome my fear of achieving them.
I am so mad right now, frustrated.
All right, let me be real with you like I always am. A few months ago, I came home pretty down on myself. Now, I usually write these personal experiences in my journal, but I feel that you could learn from this and apply it to any of your current fitness goals. So that's why I wanted to share my personal experiences with you. So I've been creating YouTube videos for over 10 years now, and throughout my journey, most of the video topics that I share on LiveLeanTV are directly from the questions that you ask me about transforming your health and body. However, I also like to share my personal stories and the things that I'm struggling with. And I do this because I often feel like creators are trying to be too perfect rather than being open, honest, and vulnerable with their community. So that's why I prefer to take the opposite approach, where I share my failures in both my fitness journey and personal life. So hopefully you'll appreciate my openness and honesty in this video, and you can apply the learnings that I took to your current situation. So if you do find this helpful, please leave a comment down below to let me know so I can continue to bring you value like this. So let's get into it. Why was I so down on myself? Well, you know I always coach you to do the things that take you outside of your comfort zone every day, but I don't always live up to my own words. And that's not typical of me, as I take a lot of pride in living true to my own message. So I'm telling you this story because it's my way of holding myself accountable to you by practicing what I preach. So here's what went down. I first achieved my ideal physique back in 2012 when I was 31 years old. So it's now 10 years later, and even though I'm 41 years old now, I feel like I've done a pretty good job at maintaining my muscle and my body fat levels. And I do this by following a healthy, balanced lifestyle while still enjoying life. And to me, since these healthy behaviors have now turned into healthy habits, when it comes to fitness, I don't really struggle with my physique anymore. However, as a 41-year-old, my main focus is maintaining my youthfulness and athleticism. So if you've been a long-term subscriber, you may remember the videos from 2013 where I set a 30-day athletic goals to learn how to do a front lever. I have videos on a kip up and a handstand. Well, I'm happy to say that I successfully learned how to complete a front lever and a kip up, but I honestly never really mastered the handstand. So my first declaration is I will hold a handstand. So even years after posting my handstand challenge video, I remember seeing comments asking where the progress video was. Well, I didn't have one because I really didn't work towards achieving my goal of holding a handstand. And to be honest, even after all these years, this failure still eats away at me. So here's my first declaration in this video. I will successfully hold a handstand. So please do me a favor and keep me accountable by checking in with me on my socials. All right, my second declaration, I will safely complete a backflip. So the other athletic movement that I always wanted to do was the backflip. So back in 2014, I used to live by a beautiful outdoor field in downtown Toronto, and I was so determined to attempt my first backflip there. So as I walked to the field, I still remember feeling so hyped and energized that I could mentally see myself doing a backflip. Now don't get me wrong, I wasn't expecting my first attempt to be a flawless, Olympic-worthy backflip, but I did expect to at least take the first step of overcoming my fear and attempting one. So I set up my video camera, since you know I would be filming this. I planted my 2 feet on the field, I visualized landing on my 2 feet, and just repeated out loud, just commit to it, Brad, commit to it. I then went through the step-by-step physical movements to complete a backflip, and then I physically froze. I couldn't get my body to do what my brain was telling me to do. And maybe I was distracted by all the dogs running around the field, or maybe I was just scared. All right, stop making excuses, Brad. You were freaking scared. Yeah, you're right. I was too scared to attempt a backflip, so I stayed inside my comfort zone and didn't even try it. And I still remember walking home with such a sense of defeat. But to my credit, 2 days later, I was in New York City and I decided to take action on my goal by taking a gymnastics lesson. And during that lesson, I at least made my first backflip attempt with the coach spotting me. However, fast forward to today, and I still have never attempted to do a backflip on my own. So since I'm now 41 years old, do I just move on and give up on my backflip goal? Well, to be 100% honest, I'm even more scared and doubtful as a 41-year-old. But I'm going to use that fear to drive me even more. So this leads me to my declaration of this video. I will learn how to safely complete a backflip. So finally, let's talk about my kip up. So I first shared a YouTube video on how I learned to do a kip up 8 years ago when I was 34 years old. And a few months ago, I decided to film an updated tutorial video for Instagram. However, once I turned on the camera to film it, I quickly realized my body forgot how to do it. So as you can see, I failed rep after rep, and I was getting super frustrated with myself.
I am so mad right now. Frustrated.
It was also starting to get into my head that since I'm now 41 years old, maybe I just lost all of my explosiveness. So just like that defeated feeling that I felt in 2014 after leaving the field in Toronto, I felt the same defeated feeling leaving the field in California. So that's another goal that I'm going to work on getting better at. So here's my fourth declaration. I will learn how to do the splits. So lastly, I've always wanted to do the splits. And back in 2019, I got pretty close to doing the front splits, but for some reason, I just lost focus and I stopped practicing it. So that's another one that I'm going to work on. Now, here are my 3 key learnings from my experiences. So after a little reflection today, I decided to search for what the key learning was from all of these experiences and failures. So here are the 3 key learnings that I came up with. Number 1, acknowledge your fears, but don't accept them. So even though I didn't accomplish my handstand or my backflip yet, or even the splits, I at least had the discipline to show up. Number 2, make consistent deposits. So even though the action of showing up was a small win, I also look at it as another deposit into my courage bank. Consistent deposits, no matter how small, will eventually lead to bigger gains. And number 3, never give up. This one is self-explanatory. And one of my favorite mentors, Robin Sharma, said it best. He said, discipline is built by consistently performing small acts of courage. So keep moving forward toward your goals, no matter how small the steps. Always search to learn from your experiences and try to pull something positive from them. And lastly, never give up. So after reflecting on these experiences, I feel much better about it now, and I'm really looking forward to stepping back onto the field to make another courage deposit. So let's see how big of a deposit I'll make in the coming weeks, but I need your help in deciding which fitness goal to go after first. So in the comments below, let me know if you want me to master the kip up again, the handstand, or the backflip, or the splits. And I plan on documenting my journey on my other YouTube vlog channel, LiveLeanTV. So if you're interested in helping me stay accountable to my fitness goals, go click the subscribe link to that channel in the video description down below. So thank you for hearing me out and allowing me to share my wins and my losses with you. Much love, guys, and keep living lean.